Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Midnight Wisps by MicroStudy. So I believe this is our first marble run puzzle, so definitely pay attention to the rules. So we do have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box. We are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. This is also a marble run, so we're going to be finding a path where the marble starts in row 1, column 1, and it stops somewhere in row 6. The marble can only drop down or go sideways, and it can't revisit a cell. So it's going to go to the right for a bit, then at some point it's going to drop down, then it could go right or left. Let's say it goes left, and then it might drop down again. Here, we can draw a line. So maybe it'll do something like this, right? It could drop down twice, who knows? And then end there. So that might be the path. It's probably not. I would be extremely lucky if that ended up being the path. But you get the idea. And in fact, I can already see some reasons it can't be, but we haven't gone over those rules yet. So we need to find the path the marble takes, and it ends somewhere in row 6, and then maybe we say it ends there. Okay, so let's clear out this line here. So the other rule is we have killer cages in the grid. So that's the cages are these cells that are surrounded by dotted lines. The digits in the cage, ignoring where any cells the marble touches, sum to the value in the top left. So some of these cells sum to 6, and the cells that sum to 6 are the ones not touched by the marble. So we can already know that the marble doesn't do this, because then there'd be no cells contributing to the sum. But let's say the marble did something like that, then this would have to be a 6, because it's the only one contributing to the sum. So hopefully that makes sense. So you're trying to find the marble path and you're solving the Sudoku at the same time. You're going to need to do both. And there's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself. And I'm going to get started right now. All right, well, clearly there's a 1 in this cage, and the marble's going to have to touch 2 of these cells. So I'm actually going to use blue here to designate that the marble does need to hit this cell. And so this is not the 1, because it's got to hit 2 cells. So it's either going to do this. Actually, I guess that means I could just draw a little segment here. I don't need the coloring. That means that we're going to do this segment because it's got to hit this, and then it's going to either go, oh, it's not going to go right down. Well, I thought it could go right down, but it can only go down right. I think it has to do this. It's the only way it's going to go from here and hit the cage. It's got to hit the cage. It can't go down beforehand, because if it did, it would only be able to hit 1 of the cells, because we can't go back up. And so it's going to go into the cage, and then it can't go in again, because then it would have to drop down, and that would hit the whole cage. So it's got to go down from here, and then now it's got to hit this cell, so it's going to go right, and then it has to go down. So that is part of our path here, and we can place the 1. Now that has hit 2 of the 6 cage, so that's a 6. And it hasn't touched this 9 at all, so this has to actually add to 9. I wonder if thinking about the outies will be easier. Well, we know it involves a 1 at the very least, so it's got a 1 in it. But let's think about this. So 9 plus 6 is 15. So these two, we know the whole row adds to 21, because 1 through 6 is 21. So 21 minus 15 is 6. So these two add to 6 without a 1. So they have to be 2, 4. And then this is 1, 3, 5. Okay. So this is 2, 4, 6 as well. I guess if the marble's getting to here, it's doing that, because it's not going down before then. So I could have drawn that from the start, but this is going to be a 3, 5 pair. Okay, so now we hit here. So now what are we doing? Well, this cage is too big to be 10 on its own, because you can't repeat digits in a cage. So it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at minimum, and that adds to 10. Sorry, that adds to 15. It doesn't add to 10. So we're going to have to enter the cage, but it doesn't mean we enter it here. We could go down. Oh, if we can't go down and then enter the cage here. Could we go down like this? No, we can't do this. And there's a different reason. The reason is this cage. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a minimum of 10, and this is a 7 cage. So we do need to hit this cage as well. So even if we went down, we'd have to beeline to this 7 cage, and that would break this 7. So we are not going down, we're going left. Now, could we go down and then beeline into here? I think we could. That would make this a 1, 2, 3, 4, which seems okay. Oh, we can't go down for the simple reason that 7 doesn't exist in this puzzle. So we need to use both of these cells to add to 7. So we have to go left. And now we can't go down. If we went down, we still have to go left to hit this 7 cage, and now we only have 1 cell for the 10. And that's certainly not possible. So we are not going down, we're going left. We could use 2 or 3 cells to add to 10. We're going to need at least 2 cells in here to add to 7. Let's think about this. Okay, if I wanted to go down, I see, I can't go down. Because if I wanted to go down, actually, let me use a different color for exploratory stuff. I can't go down, because if I did, then now this 10 cage uses these 2 cells to add to 10, which would have to be 4, 6, but 6 is not available. So this does not take the right path. This instead goes left again. And so we know that this is part of our 10 cage. And there's no way we're taking this cell without also taking this cell, right? We're going to go down at some point, and we're not allowed to re-enter this cell. So none of these are, we're not doing this, basically. We're going to come down, or we're going to go down. Oh yeah, so now that means we have to come down at some point. But if we do that, again, exploratory, if we do that, then the 7 only has 1 cell. And again, there's not 7 in this puzzle. So we're going to go straight down and then down again. Because again, if we enter here, then now we have to do the 4, 6 again. So we're going down there. So these add to 10. But I'm not sure that we can figure out exactly how. These add to 7. Okay, well, let's think about this path some more. We have to take 2 of these cells. So we have to at least get there. Because we're not, well, we at least have to go down to the right here. Because if we go down here, we'd take the whole 6 gauge, and we're not allowed to do that. So we could go right here. Now, if we went down, we'd again take the whole 6 gauge. So we go right again. Oh, so this is 4, 6. I'm glad I waited. This is 4, this is 6. Okay. Now, if I went down, I wouldn't be able to get back up, and there'd be 2 cells adding to 1. So I still have to go right. Now, if I went right, I'd have to go down. Oh, I could go right and down and end. That is a possibility. So we don't know what we do here. Or I could go down and left, or I could go down. Well, actually, I can't go down and left. I can't take either of these cells. I can't do this. I can't re-enter this, because if I do, notice that it sees 2 6s. So neither of these would be able to be a 6 on its own. So these add to 6. So they're either 2, 4 this way, or they're 1, 5 anyway. But either way, this does not enter. So one of these is a 1. Oh, actually, this one sees down. Okay, so we have to go right, and then we're going to go down, and now we're done. This is a 1. So this is not a 1, 5. This is a 2, 4. And hopefully we can now just do a killer Sudoku. 4, 6 pair. All right, what do we know about this 7? We can't do 1, 6. We could do 2, 5. We can't do 3, 4. So these are 1 and 5. So if this was a 1, this would be a 6, which it can't be. So this is a 5, making this a 2. Oh, nope, sorry. I filled the wrong digits here. 1 was correct, but 3 was the other digit. But I still can't do 1, 6. So this has to be 3 and 1. We're doing 3 and 4 to add to 7 with these 2. This is 6 and 4. This is not a 3, that's not a 1. These 2 digits are 2 and 5. We know the order. Okay. This is 1 or 3. All right, over here we need 1, 3, and 6. So the 1 is placed. This is 3 or 5. These 3 are 3, 5, 6. And this can only be the 5. There we go. Okay, does that help? This is 1, 3, and 5 now. That's a 1. Okay, we can finish this column. So that's a 2. This is 3 or 6 for the column. I don't think I have any other cages, so it better just be Sudoku at this point. So the box needs a 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm clearly missing something important here. Maybe it's non-repeat in the cage. Yes, it's non-repeat in the cage. Whew. Okay, this 6 can't repeat here. So that's a 3, that's a 6, that's a 5, 3. Okay, that finishes everything. Okay. Wow. There we go. Okay. I don't think that was super important until the very end. So cool. Well, very cool marble run puzzle MicroStudy. A nice introduction to how these really interesting variants can be added to Sudoku to make it fun. Well, it's always fun, but to keep it fun and keep it refreshing and different. So yeah, thanks again, MicroStudy. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.